Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. Canada Bad Updates. Canada's latest visa regulations could create significant challenges for Indian students and workers, raising concerns about their future prospects. At the same time, Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada has reported progress in tackling its immigration backlog, reducing it by 50,200 cases. Additionally, Newfoundland and Labrador have introduced changes to their provincial immigration intake, affecting applicants seeking opportunities in the region. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Canada's new visa rules may become a nightmare for Indian students, workers. These new rules have come into effect in the beginning of February and give unhindered powers to Canadian border officials to alter the visa status of students, workers, and migrants at any time should they deem such action necessary. Canada's latest steps to curb migration are likely to hurt tens of thousands of foreign students, including those from India. It will also negatively impact those who apply for work and resident permits. These new rules have come into effect in the beginning of February and give unhindered powers to Canadian border officials to alter the visa status of students, workers, and migrants at any time should they deem such action necessary. Under the new immigration and refugee protection regulations, Canadian border personnel are now vested with the power to deny or reject temporary resident documents, such as electronic travel authorizations or ADAs and temporary resident visas or TRVs. This means that border officials can now cancel such documents, which include work permits and student visas. However, some guidelines need to be met for them to reject permits and visas. This includes one that states that if an officer is not convinced that the individual will leave Canada upon the expiration of their authorized stay, they can reject their entry or cancel their permit even during their stay in Canada. The discretionary power to make such a judgment is entirely vested in the officer. These new rules and regulations have a scope of uncertainty and will potentially impact tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of international students and workers, of which Indians are the largest group of foreign nationals in either category. Canada is among the most preferred destinations for Indian students, workers, and legal migrants. Students alone, currently pursuing their higher education in Canada, account for more than 4.2 lakh Indian nationals as per government data. Should a student, worker, or migrant get rejected, they will be stopped at the port of entry and sent back to their home country. In case a permit is canceled while such a person is already studying, working, or residing in Canada, they will be served a notice to leave the country by a specified date. Besides these categories, Canada also sees a massive inflow of tourists from India, all of whom also have temporary permits for different duration of stay. In the first 6 months of 2024, Canada issued travel visas to more than 3.6 lakh Indians. In 2023 too, Indians account for 3.4 lakh tourists in the first 6 months of the year, as per data released by the Canadian authorities. Those who will be impacted shall receive a notification from Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada via email, as well as their IRCC account. There is no clarity regarding what will happen to the money invested or already paid by such persons, be it towards their education or loans, mortgages, or rent paid by workers during their stay in case of a sudden cancellation. Just 3 months earlier in November 2024, Canada had closed down the Student Direct Stream, or SDS visa program, a preferred route for Indian students who were willing to guarantee money up front to be assured of their education in the North American country. https://Immigration News Canada. New IRCC update. Canada's immigration backlog cut by 50,200. Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada is managing a substantial inventory of more than 2 million applications, as per the latest data updated on February 24th, 2025. The backlog drops further by 50,200 every month after registering a cut of 64,200 in the previous month. The backlog is officially defined as applications exceeding service standards for processing times set for various citizenship, immigration, or temporary visa categories. This article delves into the detailed statistics, trends, and projections, providing a thorough understanding for applicants and stakeholders. Background and context. IRCC, responsible for managing Canada's immigration system, reported managing over 2 million applications at any given time. with 2,076,600 total applications in inventories as of January 31st, 2025. In 2024, the Canadian Immigration Department finalized more than 7 million decisions, showcasing its scale of operations. The backlog, a critical metric, indicates applications are delayed beyond expected processing times, affecting wait times for applicants. IRCC's efforts to reduce backlogs amidst challenges like job cuts and policy adjustments, with the Immigration Levels Plan 2025 to 27 aiming to lower permanent resident targets, potentially aid backlog reduction. Latest official IRCC detailed backlog data. The following table summarizes the backlog in applications within service standards for key categories as of January 31st, 2025, compared to previous months. Table 1, Applications in Backlog. Table 2, Applications within Service Standards. From these tables, the total backlog decreased from November to January, a positive trend. However, permanent residency saw an increase in backlog, while temporary residency showed a significant reduction, suggesting varied processing efficiencies. Category-specific backlog analysis. Citizenship. With a backlog of 42,000 in January, up from 40,600 in December, the category remains relatively stable, with 196,600 applications within service standards. The backlog percentage, around 17.6%, aligns with reported figures of 18%, indicating consistent processing. Permanent residency. The backlog increased to 356,400 in January, from 344,700 in December, with 483,500 within service standards. This rise, detailed in Immigration News Canada, suggests potential delays, possibly due to high application volumes or resource allocation. Temporary residency. A notable decrease in backlog from 557,000 in December to 493,700 in January, with 504,400 within service standards, reflects improved processing. Processing performance in January 2025. In January 2025, IRCC made 41,400 decisions across various lines, welcoming 33,900 new permanent residents. Additionally, from April 1st, 2024 to January 31st, 2025, 297,500 new citizens were welcomed. The Immigration Department finalized 66,600 study permit applications and 137,600 work permit applications, indicating active processing efforts as per Canada CA. Future projections in 2025. IRCC provided projections for backlog percentages at the end of February and March 2025, compared to actual January 2025 data. Table 3. Official future projections for the immigration backlog. These projections suggest expected reductions, notably for PNP, from 30% to 20%, which is an unexpected detail given the current high backlog, potentially easing pressures for applicants in this stream. Analysis and implications. The overall decreasing backlog is a positive sign, particularly for temporary residency, but the increasing permanent residency backlog raises concerns. Factors contributing can include high application volumes and policy adjustments like job cuts, which might affect future processing. For applicants, citizenship processing remains stable, permanent residency may face longer waits, and temporary residency shows improvement. IRCC's goal to process 80% of applications within service standards is crucial for managing expectations. The department's efforts to reduce the application backlog show mixed results, with progress in temporary residency, but challenges in permanent residency. Projections indicate potential improvements, but monitoring is essential. This comprehensive view aids applicants in planning and understanding Canada's immigration landscape as of February 25, 2025. Newfoundland and Labrador changes application intake for its provincial immigration pathways. Foreign nationals can no longer apply directly to Newfoundland and Labrador's permanent residency pathways, and some applications in progress will not be processed. Newfoundland and Labrador is changing its intake process, both for provincial nominations, for a provincial nominee program, and for certificates of endorsement for the Atlantic Immigration Program. Effective February 19th, 2025, intake for the PNP and AIP has moved to an online expression of interest system. Under this new system, foreign nationals must create an expression of interest to be considered for these programs. The province will review EOIs and then send its preferred candidates invitations to apply for nomination or endorsement. Foreign nationals will not be applied to apply to the province for nomination or endorsement without first having received an invitation from the province. For foreign nationals with applications in progress before the launch of the EOI system, the province will review all existing applications and will advance some to the application stage, while returning others to the EOI pool. The province will make these decisions on a case-by-case basis using the same criteria for EOI evaluations and will contact current applicants to update them on their status. This video will cover how the new EOI system works and recent changes to the NLPMP and provincial immigration, how the new EOI system works. The newly announced EOI model introduces a two-step process for immigration candidates. In this new system, individuals must first submit a short form that outlines key details about their qualifications. This includes information about their occupation, education, language skills, and willingness to live in Newfoundland and Labrador. Once the EOI is submitted, it will be reviewed by the province, and select candidates will be invited to proceed with applying for nomination to the NLPMP or for their certificate of endorsement for the AIP. Processing times for new applications are also expected to rise due to this change. The NLPMP advised that the assessment of some applications may take 3 months or more in some cases. The NLPMP stated that the streamlined process will allow for a more targeted approach to immigration by helping to ensure that the right candidates are chosen to fill critical roles within the province, particularly in sectors experiencing labor shortages, such as healthcare and education. Note that applications for permanent residence through the AIP are processed directly by the federal government. This is in contrast to applications to the NLPMP, which, if successful, led to provincial nomination from Newfoundland and Labrador. Applicants must then either apply to the Canadian federal government with a complete application for PR, or, if an application is submitted under an express entry line stream, candidates must maintain a valid express entry profile and receive an invitation to apply under the express entry system, allowing them to apply directly to the federal government for PR. EOI systems in Canadian provincial immigration are usually used for streams that do not require candidates to have a job offer to be eligible. This is notable considering that 4 of the 6 immigration pathways to Newfoundland and Labrador require job offers, including the AIP. However, Newfoundland and Labrador is not the only province to newly introduce an EOI system. In September of 2024, the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program announced that it will be employing a similar EOI intake for its worker streams, requiring candidates to submit a worker EOI to be considered. Recent changes to the NLPMP. The NLPMP has undergone significant changes in recent months, reflecting both the growing demand for immigration and the province's efforts to better manage its immigration process. Historically, the provincial government processed immigration applications on a first-come, first-served basis. However, in late 2024, a surge in demand combined with limited economic immigration spaces led to a shift towards priority processing. This change aimed to ensure that immigration spaces were allocated more strategically, focusing on applicants who align with the province's labor market needs and economic priorities. In January 2025, the NLPMP also announced a pause on processing of job vacancy assessments and AIP designations for employers. This pause remains in effect, with further updates expected in the coming weeks as the province continues to evaluate its immigration strategy. Despite these adjustments, the NLPMP reports that its capacity to welcome new immigrants remains limited. Following a drastic reduction having the number of provincial nomination allocations available to the NLPMP in 2025, Newfoundland and Labrador successfully negotiated with the federal government to secure an additional 1,000 economic immigration spaces. As part of this deal, the province will also accept 290 new humanitarian immigrants over the next 2 years. This increase brings the total province's immigrant nomination allocation to 2,525 in 2025. However, the NLPMP reports that this figure still falls short of the demand for immigration, with the provincial government actively advocating for further increases in economic immigration spaces. These updates reflect Canada's shifting immigration policies, balancing stricter regulations with efforts to streamline processing. While Indian students and workers may face new obstacles, the overall immigration system continues to evolve, making it essential for applicants to stay informed and adapt accordingly. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.